You ever see something so unfair that it just sticks with you? No matter how much time passes, it still feels fresh, like it just happened yesterday? That's how I feel about what happened to Chef Laila. I've been a regular at Laila's table since it opened. It started out as this small, cozy spot on the corner of 8th and Maple. You might have walked right past it if you didn't know what was inside. But once you stepped through the door, it felt like something special, like home. The lights were warm, the air smelled like cinnamon and slow-roasted meat, and Laila, well, she greeted almost every customer with a smile like she'd been waiting all day just to see you. She didn't just feed people. She connected with them. You could taste it in every dish. Every bite told a story of her family, her culture, her journey. She once told me her cooking started with her grandmother, who used to hum old songs while stirring a pot of lentils over a wood stove. That spirit never left her food. You felt it. But running a restaurant isn't easy. And as the place got more popular, she needed help. That's when she brought on investors. People with money, but not necessarily heart. People who saw profit, not passion. At first, it seemed like a good thing. They helped her expand the space, update the kitchen equipment, even gave the menu a little redesign. But then, little by little, you could see things shift. The menu lost some of its soul. Gone were her grandmother's slow-cooked stews and her signature chickpea fritters, replaced with things like charred cauliflower with truffle foam. It looked pretty on the plate, sure, but it wasn't her. I could see the light start to fade in Laila's eyes. She was still there, still smiling, but her shoulders were a little heavier, her laughs a little shorter. It was like she was watching someone slowly repaint a picture she'd spent years creating. And then came that night. I'll never forget it. It was a busy Friday evening. The place was full, as usual. I was at my regular table, tucked near the kitchen window where I liked to peek in and watch the magic happen. Laila was in the back, moving with her usual rhythm, directing the line, tasting sauces, plating dishes like a painter. Then, everything changed. One of the new managers, a guy named Brent, all slick hair and arrogance, walked into the kitchen. I couldn't hear everything he said, but I saw the look on her face. Confusion, hurt, disbelief. Then he raised his voice, loud enough for everyone in the front to hear. "You're done, Laila, effective immediately." The room went still. Looked around. People froze, forks midair. You could hear the sound of glasses clinking in the silence. She stepped out into the dining area, still wearing her apron. Her hands were shaking. Her lips parted like she wanted to speak, but no words came out. "I built this place," she finally said, barely above a whisper. Brent just shrugged. "The board made a decision. We're moving in a different direction." And just like that, she was gone. No farewell, no goodbye dinner, no announcement. Just gone. The woman who poured her soul into that place, kicked out like she didn't matter. I didn't go back after that. A lot of us didn't. It wasn't Laila's table anymore. It was just a business. Cold, empty. The food might have been fancy, but it had no love in it. Months passed. I'd drive by and see the place getting emptier. One day, I even saw a "Help Wanted" sign on the window. It hurt, but I figured that was the end of it. Then, something unexpected happened. The real owner, Mr. Donnelly, returned. He had been away battling cancer, trusting the business in the hands of the people Laila had brought on board. When he found out what they had done, how they threw her out, how they erased everything she stood for, he didn't stay quiet. He made a public statement. "Laila is not just the chef of this restaurant. She is this restaurant. Without her, there is no Laila's table. I made the mistake of stepping away, but I'm back now, and so is she." And true to his word, he fired the entire management team. Brent? Gone. The board? Dissolved. And Laila? She came back. Opening night after her return was like a celebration. The line wrapped around the block. People brought flowers, some even brought handwritten notes thanking her for her food, for her kindness, for being a light in their lives. She walked in wearing a clean white coat, her name stitched over the heart. She looked overwhelmed, emotional, but proud. People stood up and clapped as she made her way to the kitchen. And when she started cooking again, oh man, you could feel it in the air, the spices, the flavors, the soul. It was all back. I sat at my usual table again that night. When she brought out my plate, she paused, looked at me, and said, "Thank you for still believing in me." I could barely hold back tears. I tell you this story not just because it's about food or a restaurant. No, it's bigger than that. It's about something deeper, something that touches all of us, whether we realize it or not. It's about how easy it is for powerful people, people with money, titles, and influence, to forget the heart behind the hustle. They look at success in numbers, in spreadsheets, in trends and analytics. But they miss what really matters: the soul, the sweat, the years of dreaming, failing, learning, and rising again. The love someone pours into their craft, not because it's profitable, but because it's who they are. Laila didn't open that restaurant to impress critics or chase awards. She did it to share a piece of herself with the world. And when they threw her out, it wasn't just a business decision. It was erasing a part of her story, a part of her identity. They didn't just fire a chef. They silenced a voice that had been speaking through food, through culture, through love. But what happened next? That's the part that gives me hope. Because this story is also about us, about community, about how people, when they care enough, can push back against injustice even in small ways, by walking away, by speaking up, by remembering what truly matters. It was the regulars who stopped coming, the neighbors who asked where she went, the friends who called the owner. And it was the people, all of us, who stood in line the night she returned just to let her know, "You were never forgotten." Chef Laila is more than just a cook. She's a symbol, a reminder that passion, real, honest passion, can't be bought or replaced, that no matter how shiny the surface, if there's no heart underneath, people will feel it. She reminds us that integrity matters, that being true to yourself, even when the world tries to silence you, is a quiet kind of strength. And that strength, it inspires others. I watched her lose everything. And I watched her rise again, not by fighting louder, but by staying true to who she's always been. And I'll never forget that. Not just because of the food, but because of the lesson she taught all of us. When you build something with love, even if they try to tear it down, that love will always find its way back home.